What's up, hybrids? Welcome back to another episode of the Fandom Hybrid Podcast. This is Hanako, and I'm here with Anthony and Mike, and we are discussing season 2, episode 5 of the Wheel of Time series. And where do we want to start with this one? Do we want to start from the beginning?
Let's just start at the beginning.
Let's start at the
Might as
beginning.
well.
Okay, so we have the Seanchan. I guess they have gone back to their home country area, whatever it's called, but that's Falme, right? Where they are with the High Lord Turek.
Turok.
Turok.
Well, I wouldn't call it their home country, but
Okay.
they have. This is like their. This is one of their bases of operation.
One of the places they've colonized, maybe.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Or they claim reclaimed it,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
Okay.
potatoes, boil and
Right.
mash them,
Yeah.
stick them in the stew, whatever.
Right. Okay. So
Semantics.
what I find interesting about all of this is I thought that Lady Sura was the leader because of the way that they treated her when they were in the village. Oh no, there's somebody above her. Has to be a brother. I'm like, okay, here you go. Got black people colonizing, but okay, whatever. But I
Hey,
find
about
it
time.
interesting that when they come back and she's, they're doing their whole little, I guess you could say, presentation or just kind of presenting themselves to him, he is pissed because he was like, you went and did what I told you not to do. You went way across the sea and you claimed a city that, what did he say? We didn't even need.
Mm-hmm. And it's too far
Like,
for them to hold.
that too.
Right.
And he was like, against my orders. And even though she has her face covered, you can tell she has major, major attitude. She feels like she's supposed to be the one in charge. You can just tell it from the way she was acting. And even Ishmael was looking at her like, if you don't shut your mouth. And I was like, why is he where? I was like, oh, he's trying to keep up appearances. There's something that he needs from this whole exchange.
He needs the Seanchan army.
Mm-hmm.
You can't
And
piss off this guy because
right,
he's the Lord Commander.
right. And I
You
was
can
like,
tell by all the antlers that he's wearing.
the Atlas, yes. Okay, now question, because I have it playing in the background, and I noticed that the big extended nails on his hand, those are just attachments. But on hers, were those her actual fingernails? And is that a symbol of status for their people?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That you can reasonably infer that that is a status
Okay.
because everybody looked at her like, "Oh, you done messed up now,"
Right.
and she lost her nails.
Mhm.
And he said, "You can't come back to the court until you are presentable," which
Which means the
means
nails have to grow
have to
back.
grow back out.
Oh, hell no.
I was like, wait a minute, because when she held them out, I was like, what is she doing? Because we noticed that she does a lot of gesturing with those nails. And when that guy pulled out his sword, I said, oh, wait, those are her real nails. Those are not attachments like what he has on his fingers.
What makes you think his are attachments, though?
Because when they have a close up of his hands when he's trying to open the chest that has the horn of Valir, you can kind of see, and this from someone who has worn fake nails before, you can kind of see the way that the things are attached. They look almost metal instead of it being like an extension of his actual fingernails. You can kind of tell from the way that it's attached that I don't think those are his real nails.
Um, I will
Unless
say that they are known to decorate and lacquer their nails.
okay.
So a person as high as his status would probably do that to his nails.
Okay.
And even since he's a military leader, also he would put armor on them too.
Okay.
So that he reminds me of what's his name from Stargate.
I literally was just about to say that. I was just about to say he looks like a Jafar.
Yeah.
He looks like Tilt.
You also notice how he has no hair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw the people in the court had different levels of hair being removed.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that could be a status symbol as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out
So
there.
yeah, it's just like the '80s, like when you had the really high top fade. It's like you were up higher in the cast, as opposed to just having the short rounded one. Like I had a lot, and people laughed at you and teased you, and said you had a baby fro. And sorry,
Yeah, but
I'm sorry, what were we talking about?
he has whatever, Mike. He has no hair. Like he has no eyebrows, no hair on his head, anything.
Okay, so the other thing about that whole exchange, so like I said, Lady Sarath, apparently she has been demoted now because she got a little snippy with the head, with the HNIC. But when it's so interesting because Ishmael is sitting on the side of her. And when the dude is trying to tell her, what did he tell her? He told her to say something or do something.
He told her to kneel.
To kneel, yes.
And Ishmael goes, kneel.
Yeah. I was like, and the dude
Don't fuck
kind of
this up.
looked over like, and who the hell are you? Because she was not about to kneel. She was like, excuse me? And she turned to look at him for reassurance. I was like, oh, okay. So she literally just told the leader who the boss of her was with that one little gesture, which probably didn't, endear her to him any more than all the other stuff that she was doing. But when they go into the room,
I love that little gasp by Alwyn when they cut her fingernails. It's like it cut, and she was like,
right.
She was like, oh, like I was that's my first. I was like, oh, damn, she really fucked up.
Yep.
Well, I think another piece of information we get from the Lord Commander is he said that he serves the light.
Okay, so
Because he got pissed off when she said, maybe you made a mistake. I don't make mistakes. I serve the light.
Yeah, that was where I was going next.
Right.
Because...
And their duty is to combine everybody in the world in order to prepare to fight at the last battle against the dark.
Right. So my question is, does he even know who Ishmael is? Because
I'm
technically
gonna say at
speaking,
this
there are
point in the
opposite...
story, I don't know if it's clear or not.
Okay.
Because remember, well, he might know that he's a dark friend. He might not necessarily know he's forsaken.
Okay.
But I also remember they don't call them forsaken. They call them, well, we'll hear it later, chosen.
Okay.
So he may or may not know, but he knows that he made it clear that he serves the light.
Yes, he did. Very much so. So when he said that, I was kind of looking, I was like, okay, this seems to be like a very, very big conflict of interest. Because she obviously, well, I was thinking before we saw them go into the room and her, she having that conversation with Ishmael. It's like, well, maybe she's not quite sure because the only thing we know of Ishmael with the Seanchan at this point is that he arrives with them. We don't necessarily know that they knew who or what he was or anything like that because we don't have any conversation with them up until this point. So then when they go into her room, because she's banished to her rooms, and he starts having the conversation with her, I was like, oh, so she knows that she's serving someone of the dark, like, because she said something about our master.
Well, yeah, she was at the table in the beginning with Ishmael with all those dark friends.
That's right.
She was there. Now I'm going to backtrack a little bit. No, I don't think everyone pretty much hates dark friends.
Okay.
So if he knew that they were dark friends, they'd be dead.
Okay. Because I was going to say Mike's boy Pat and Fane was there too.
Carrying the horn, like coming in with the horn, whistling, just like, what's up, man? I got something for you.
Walking
like he's the Amazon deliverer.
Right. just kind of happy-go-lucky, like, yeah, I'm just happy to be here. Like he's on the Soul Train line or something coming up to the High Lord.
You
Like,
know he ain't right. He ain't right in the head.
He ain't right in the head.
Has to be right in the head. But again, he feels like he's on the right side of things. He's like, yeah, I'm a dark friend. I'm over here with the lieutenant. I'm good. Yeah, let me present this to this dude. And I mean, even going so far as to bowing to him and everything, I was like, I want Perrin to
like
so bad.
exaggerated, like bowing as far as he could, like
Right. Almost
like he,
almost like a mockery in a sense. But
yeah.
I
But
don't
he
know.
knows better than to really openly mock him because he ain't got what he's trying to get yet. He's trying to get something, so he figures I might as well get down so I don't have to lay down. So
Well,
here's your
also,
box.
if the
As
lady if she did what she did and she mouthed off the way that she did, and she got her status cut off, they were telling what he would have done to Pat and Fane if Pat and Fane
Yeah,
had
you ain't
gone.
cutting shit off me. I'm good.
Like I don't even know who you are. So
I'll
why
do
would
whatever you.
yeah. Yeah.
as a wise man once said, some men just want to watch the world burn.
True that. Yep, that's Pat and Fane's ass. He just
That seems exactly to be what he is. He's just like, yeah, I'm gonna watch all of this burn, and I'm just gonna have a front row seat with my popcorn. That's really what he seems like, because he's so, I don't even know if I want to say he's different from the way he was when we first met him in the very first episode of the series, because even then he was kind of cheerful, because
Carefree.
because he was pretending to be a merchant. But now his demeanor, and I don't know if it's just because we know that he's evil or if it's just that's how he's playing it. He just seems so dark, even with the joyfulness and walking up with the horn and the whistling. And I was like, yeah, like you said, and that was like, something ain't right about this dude. Like, I really want Perrin to find you and beat the shit out of you. I really do.
yeah. Now that I'm looking at Turok's nails, they almost look like he has 4 wands attached to his fingers.
Yeah.
Like they look fake as shit. Look fake as
Yeah.
fuck. But maybe it's just like I bet maybe the higher your cast is in his on his council, like the more adornments you can add to it. Like maybe that's like gold flake or something.
Okay. I'll take it.
No, it's metal. My bad. Yeah,
He
it's like
he
they're like
decorated
shield.
it.
They're sheathed in
Yeah.
metal.
Yeah, that's kind of, that was the word I was looking for. I couldn't think of it, but yeah, that's what it kind of looks like. So
No, it is like they're literally covered in metal.
Mhm.
yeah,
So
so
maybe they're prosthetic. Maybe be like that ain't real. Maybe he only has nails like that big, and he's like compensating by wearing like really long metal covers, and there's nothing underneath it.
okay,
No,
yeah,
that's not how that society works.
I'm just kidding. I'm sure. Yeah,
You
my
can't
bad.
walk around with prophylactics on your finger in that society. You
I,
just can't.
I
are we
guess not.
starting this early with the craziness with
I
y'all?
mean, might as well. Shout out to him for being able to open the box with the horn in it with those damn nails.
Well, notice he was using the fingers
Yeah,
that
he was like,
don't have the nails on them, because I was gonna say that too, because I know, like, right now my nails are kind of short, but usually my nails are about an inch from the base, and I have to be really, really careful with just those. So I can't even imagine walking around the way that they walk around and do. I can't. But I mean,
he
he
kind of
gets
looked like
it
a
done.
weird DJ, like a DJ with two. It's like,
Now I will say this: while Lady Surath and Ishmael are having their conversation, I find it interesting that he tells her he has a gift for her, and they'll be here later. I said, that damn Liandrin. She's bringing Egwene and Nynaeve to him. I was
like I
like,
like I said like I said last episode, this bitch. Ah. And then she had them in
the
their
ways.
version of the upside down. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like motherfucker. I'm like, and See, this I always thought like, okay, maybe she's just a rebel. She just doesn't like to follow rules. But no, she's playing both sides. She's a double agent. She's a whole double agent, an entire full fledged double agent on this shit. And I'm like, mother, and what
And
they
I
call her
was
a
so
black.
mad because I was like, here we are looking at her and what she's doing for Nynaeve, and we're like, maybe she really does respect her, or at least I would say that. And all this other stuff. No, bitch, you was trying to rush her through so that you could use her to give her to the Seanchan. I was like, this bitch. But I have a question. So when
No,
she
I think it wasn't. I think she was. Nynaeve said you were rushing me because you wanted to turn me to the dark. That's what she. That's what
yeah,
Nynaeve
but she was gonna do that by taking her to the Seanchan, I think.
I have a feeling she was trying to do that before she turned her over. Or maybe she wasn't even going to turn her over, she could turn into the dark. Because if she turned her to the dark, they probably would not have been able to collar her.
Okay.
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 Because she would have gone to them and like, look, she's on our side now.
Okay. So here's my question. So while Liandrin and Nynaeve are having the conversation and Nynaeve is kind of figuring out what it was that Liandrin is doing, one of the things that she said was, you attacked us, you broke your oaths. And I think I remember, isn't one of their oaths that they can't use the one power against each other? Or they can't use it to harm?
They can't use the one power as a weapon.
As a weapon. Okay, there you go.
They can use it in defense of themselves or to protect the lives of others.
Gotcha.
But they can't use it as a weapon.
Okay,
and they can't lie.
We clearly see that we clearly see Liandrin is doing all of these things. Like she said, she's broken those oaths and so many more.
So many more.
So how is it, and maybe this is something that was explained in the first season and I just don't remember it. How is it that those oaths are taken? Like, do they, like, we know when Moraine got banished, there was like an oath rod that she had to swear upon. Is that something similar for when they become Aes Sedai and they swear those 3 oaths? Is it something similar to that? Okay. Yes. Now, how would one such as Liandrin go about breaking those oaths, and what kind of consequences should it have on them? Or is that going to be too spoilery? Is that something I might find out later on?
You might be wandering into spoilerish territory.
Okay, I don't want to wander into spoilerish territory. So basically the important thing that we know,
the important thing they can break them. It's possible to break them.
Okay.
Is it gonna be like Dorian Gray looking into his mirror, like punishment? Like, is
that
she
would
gonna
definitely be spoilery, Mike?
Well, they give you kind of a hint later because we'll talk about Lady Seraph and Ishamael's conversation where he says, I know why you swear the oath to the Dark One.
Okay, yeah, because so when they had that conversation, she was being kind of mouthy with him too. And as soon as he said that, her whole fucking demeanor changed. She was like, I may have been too forward, my lord. I was like, oh.
Yeah. He reminded her who she really worked for.
Right.
Yeah.
And she was just like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, my bad. I spoke out of turn. Yeah. It's like, oh, what does he have on her? Look, I was about to say, was she an Aes Sedai too? But maybe she wasn't. I do know that when she had that conversation with Liandrin, once Liandrin brought the 3 girls to them, she and Lady Seraph don't like each other at all.
Well, nobody likes Liandrin's ass. Like, nobody, even good, bad, indifferent. Nobody likes her. This was
like a whole. She basically called Liandrin a dog that wasn't even worthy to be up under her shoe. That's basically
but you also have to remember that they come from a culture that the Seanchan culture treats women who can channel like slaves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And women
Yeah.
who aren't collared are basically wild dogs
Yeah.
that need to be tamed.
Which was so interesting to me that Liandrin would turn over those three girls to them, because as much as she's always spouting off about women and how much they have to struggle for power and to make sure that the men don't treat them, blah, blah, blah. Like, you are literally giving these girls to someone who is going to treat them exactly like that. Because you can't sit here and tell me that um that Egwene, because Egwene is the only one who I think was captured. Nynaeve and Elayne was able to get away from them at first. You can't tell me that Egwene is not going to end up like that blonde-headed girl who's got the gag and the collar and being controlled. You can't tell me that's not about to happen. So I was like really surprised, even though, yes, I know Liandrin, she's dark, and I think one of the sisters later on in the episode, she's mentioned the Black Aja, Aes Sedai sisters who break their oaths and they serve the dark. She was like, oh, the Black Aja really exists. So I'm like, okay, at this point, you might as well have put like a label on Liandrin's forehead saying
I
Black
mean,
Aja in the
she's
house.
not wearing a red cloak. She's wearing a black cloak.
What?
And her ring is a black ring now.
I didn't even pay attention.
Yeah,
Probably because
details.
that thing about the Black Asha didn't come until later in the
So
episode.
later.
And I just thought that Liandrin was probably, I don't know, just maybe trying to disguise herself out because of course, if she goes out in her red, everybody's going to know, oh, she's a red Asha. She's a red Asha. So I thought she was just disguising herself. But now that I think about it, the stuff with the Black Asha was mentioned later on in the episode. And I'm like, okay, if I go back and I look and I see Liandrin in the black, then that's going to make a whole lot of sense now. So, but yeah.
Because I didn't notice the black ring until watching it again. I was like, oh, details.
Okay. But yeah, I'm still, even with all of that knowledge, I'm still surprised, because even when she was leaving, you could see on her face that part of her was kind of like pissed that she was leaving these powerful girls. Well, again, we don't really know much about Elayne. We saw her use a little bit of her power in this episode, but part of her looked pissed that she was leaving these promising, talented, powerful women with them. But
I'm sure she was pissed, but because of her oath, she has no choice.
Yeah, that's what I was
She
going
was
to say.
told to do a thing, and she has to do a thing.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to like it. She doesn't have to. She did give them a chance to fight their way out, but she did what she was told to do.
Right.
You got to be real specific in your orders to somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. All these Aes Sedai, it's like there's always a footnote or like a catch or like a little asterisk next to things for them. It's like you always find like they'll say something that's like asterisk. There's a little hidden meaning. There's a little something hidden under there. Or they'll find something.
Yeah, you told me to catch them and bring them to you. You didn't tell me I didn't have to free them.
Right.
I didn't say I had to give them to you. I caught them. I brought them to you. You lost them. What do you want me to do? It's just like Black Widow in Civil War.
Like, yeah. I said I'd help you find them. I didn't say I was gonna let you take them.
Yeah, right.
That sort of thing. Yeah. But okay. Talking about them and their temporary escape, at least for Egwene, because she does get caught. I realize there is some character development going on here. And I realize it is slow going. But the fact that Nynaeve, again, they keep talking about how she is the most powerful channeler in the last 1,000 years. And the moment that you have access to your abilities and you have to use it to try to save your life and your friend's life and her friend's life,
Mm-hmm.
you can't shit. I'm just wondering what the hell is going on with her, because every time we see that Nynaeve needs to use her power for whatever, she's impotent. And it's like, dude, what is going on with you?
Mm-hmm.
There's a point in the book where she can't purposely, even in the book, she can't purposely channel unless she's angry.
Being bound and captured by someone who you thought you was
She
slowly
was she
starting
was
to
running she was running scared. She wasn't angry.
No, when she was on the ground. Oh, I was gonna say when she was
Yeah.
on the ground, she wasn't running then, but
And
yeah, she was.
also, yeah, and also television Nynaeve is not quite the same as book Nynaeve. Like
I hope
nobody
not.
nobody honestly in both nobody likes her. she's
Okay.
she's an ass, she's a jerk asshole in the book. Very sweet though when she's around Land. But
I was about to say, how can you be
Uh-huh.
nasty, an asshole, and a jerk, and but sweet though? Like,
she was sweet around
okay,
Land.
okay,
Um and when it came to the boys and the Two Rivers people,
mm-hmm.
she could be hard on them and tough on them.
Okay,
Because she became a wisdom at 14
mm-hmm.
when her teacher died. So she had, and everyone in the village said you were too young to be a wisdom. And she was running around healing people, helping people, doing all these things, and they were still treating her like that. So that's how she developed that hard callousness around
Okay.
her. And that's kind of what it is. It's almost like an emotional barrier, which is sort of like a block to her using her powers because she can really only use them in the book only when she's really upset. She
Okay.
can let it go. But here in the show, it's just when she gets emotional.
Okay.
And I guess it wasn't enough emotion for her to channel right then because she was scared and trying to run away.
I guess I'm
But
like it.
you're right though. I still don't quite like this version. Like I don't know. I still need for them to do more because Nynaeve is still probably the number two most popular character in the book after
Mm,
Matt,
okay.
and it's kind of it's real difficult to watch this version because she's very hard to like, and it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to
Yeah.
root for her. They keep, like you said, they keep saying, "Oh, she's the most powerful channeler in 1,000 years."
And we
Well,
don't, and then we don't see shit.
we don't really see it.
Yeah. And it just, I guess it's so interesting because we see that she's developed a very strong connection to Land just in these few months that she's really known him. And the times that we've really seen her lash out is when it comes to him. And I guess I'm just like, Egwene has been your friend all of her life. Like, you helped heal her from, and that just kind of triggered my memory, that breakbones fever that she saw the accepted girl healing in a couple of episodes ago. That's the same thing Egwene had, that
Yeah,
she
that
said
was
she
that
had.
was the first time she channeled was when she
Right.
healed Wayne.
So I'm like, this is your friend. And again, I guess maybe she was slow on the uptake. Like, maybe she was still trying to get it through her head that Liandrin actually kidnapped them, and she was trying to figure out, because at one minute she's in the ways and now she's looking, she's like, there's trees, there's grass, that's where we are, and who are these people? But I'm like, you are bound. Your power was shielded for a minute, and then Leandra kind of let it loose. But y'all are in chains, bonds, whatever you want to call it, and people are trying to capture you. It's kind of like, what more do you need to be to get upset? What more do you need to be like, I'm not going with y'all? And I guess I don't know, because Elayne had no problems using it. Egwene had no problems using it. Like, Egwene stood in front of them and let that shield come out. I was like, oh, okay.
I was impressed. I was like, oh, she's like that. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, all she did was she used it to get her bonds off of her, and then they ran, and Egwene used the shield. But it was just like, I hate to say it like this. You got the three of them.
Mm-hmm.
They're teammates on a group project. And the group
Yep.
project is to get away from the Seanchan. And Nynaeve is the one person in the group project who ain't did her homework. She hasn't done her research. She hasn't contributed anything to the group.
Like she forgot the poster board and the markers. It's like
Right.
she
But she's
Hey,
the
hey,
she
one
hey,
who
actually
wait,
read the
wait,
wrong
knew.
book.
wait a second. In the last episode, I told you that the novices are looking at her like she ain't done nothing. We ain't seen her
Mm-hmm.
channel not one time, and now she's an accepted. Y'all scoffed at me when I said these
We
novices
weren't
have not
scoffing.
seen her channel one time. Not y'all keep telling us. Ain't the only people who seen her channel are Moraine and who ain't even here in the tower and
Liandrin.
and Liandrin,
Yeah.
who nobody likes. And we supposed to believe her ass? Shiriam should be looking at her like, what's the real problem? So she walked into the arches and came out. Wow. She said she's channeling there, but did anybody see it? No.
So,
Has,
so basically, her powers are the snuffleupagus of the White Tower.
so until I see her channel, until I see it, I
Well,
don't believe
you've
it.
seen it, so you know she can do it, which is
I'm
why you
speaking
should
from
also
the
be frustrated.
I'm speaking from the perspective of a novice who've been busting their ass for
I
months,
got you. I
and they
got you.
can't even get an opportunity to go through the
Well,
arch.
maybe they should be glad now that they don't have an opportunity to go through, because other than that, they'd be sitting over there in front of the Seanchan with the rest of the girls. So,
Yeah.
maybe that works out in their favor.
So back to what your analogy, yes, she is the person in the group who's going to benefit from everybody else's hard work.
Yeah, because she right now she is free, or at least because I didn't get to the last 10 minutes of the episode, so I don't remember what happened at the end of the episode. But she's free.
Wait, you did the well. We did see Egwene throw up the shield and sacrifice herself so they could get away.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying.
So
Egwene
she the one that's
has
going to
been caught.
fail because they didn't do the work.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right. And like Egwene and Nynaeve now are walking around in where Falme. Didn't you
Oh,
say that, Anthony?
no,
Everybody should be headed towards the
heading
same
towards the
place.
same
We've
place.
heard everyone mention Falme now.
Yeah.
Nynaeve
Now,
and Egwene are actually there. Perrin has mentioned it. I think Moraine has. It's just like, okay, Falme.
but before we leave
Mm-hmm.
Nynaeve and Egwene, let's talk about this blonde Damani, the young girl. This is like the third time we've seen her.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know who she is.
Oh,
I
who she's
think I
supposed to
know
be?
who we don't know yet. We haven't, but if she is who I think she is, she's gonna be very important later.
Okay.
So just keep your eyes on that blonde
Okay.
Damani.
Okay.
That is the title of the episode, Damani,
It is. Yes, it is.
and it's only said one time during the episode.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
anyway,
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
because Lady Suroth says it, doesn't she,
mm-hmm,
when she's having the conversation with Liandrin,
mm-hmm,
and she's basically like, you wild dog, blah blah blah. If it was up to me, because what did she say? She said the power is not just freely given where she's from just because you happen to be born with it. She was
mm-hmm.
like, our Damani, they trained for years to prove that they are worth having it, or being able to use it. And I'm like, but what does it matter if y'all keep them enslaved? Like, so I already
But yeah,
know
because
this.
the Mani, if I remember, stands for the leashed ones, and Marith Damani is those who should be leashed. Those are
Mm,
the wild ones.
okay.
And did she call? Maybe I'm
Yes,
skipping ahead. She called
she
her
did
Marith
use, yeah,
Damani.
she
Yeah,
did use that term,
yeah,
because I was gonna go look it up.
yeah. If I remember correctly, it means those who should be leashed,
Mm.
and then the Mani
Which
is
in
those who are
her
leashed.
in her mind is all the
Leash.
Aes Sedai.
Yeah, they're wild dogs.
Yeah.
They need to be leashed and collared.
Yeah. But those threats between her and Liandrin, I was like, I want to see a fight between them. But here's my other question. Lady Sarath, can she channel? You don't know. Okay. Or you don't, or you know, and you're not saying. Okay. I just wonder.
I have no knowledge.
Because I was like, I really want to see a fight between those two, especially with the way they were throwing verbal daggers at each other. Like a fight is inevitable. And I just want it to be one of those fights where they are whooping each other's ass. And then the last lick that either one of them throw kills the other one and they just both drop dead together. That's just kind of what I want to see right now. So, okay. So let's talk a little bit more about Liandrin, but let's move on to another part of the story because Verin has arrived at the tower. And she's coming to look for information. She's coming to look for Egwene and Nynaeve. And she keeps getting the runaround because, of course, Nynaeve and Egwene aren't in the tower. And no one really seems to know where they are. So when she goes to Sheriam Sedai to ask, Sheriam is like, oh yeah, they've left the tower. They went with the daughter heir to her brother's name day celebration. And when she was saying all of this, I was like, is she a dark friend? She's lying through her teeth.
She's lying very badly. I felt like Matt Murdock. Like I feel like I could hear her heartbeat beating really fast, which when she was saying everything she was saying, I was like, no. Like,
I was like, she's not even trying to be a good liar. But then, of course, later on, when they're trying to figure it out, they're like, oh, maybe she was coerced. And I was like, oh, that would make so much sense because technically speaking, she's not lying if she doesn't know she's lying. You know what I'm saying? If someone coerced her, which I was like, of course it would have to be Liandrin because Liandrin was the one that took them out the tower. And then I was like, oh, Liandrin is doing all kinds of shit because now she's using her power to make her sisters lie so that she can do what she needs to do. Because even Sharon Sedai, when she's looking in the book and she's saying it like
she doesn't remember that she doesn't remember that she wrote it.
Right. And she's also like, I know I'm saying this like this is what happened, but I don't know if this is it's almost like she's doubting herself and she's trying to figure out, wait, what happened? When did this happen? I wouldn't have given permission for them to go to why would she give permission for Nynaeve and Egwene to go to a name day ceremony for somebody they don't fucking know? Egwene didn't even know Elayne was the daughter heir. So why would she grant that permission? And Verin is just sitting there taking it all in like, okay.
I'm surprised you didn't make the connection between Ravenclaw and the Brown Aja.
You know I did. I just haven't mentioned it yet.
It's only natural that a Ravenclaw would become a Brown Aja. Yeah.
Right. So, yes.
Cho Chang.
Yeah, I was very excited when I saw that she had gotten cast in this. And then when I saw her on the screen, I was like, oh. And then, of course, like you said, pure Ravenclaw. She's a Brown Aja. They are the, I'm guessing they are the knowledge keepers. They are the ones who seek knowledge. And I mean, that's one of the reasons why Verin is writing a book and she was coming back to get another book and all of this other stuff. And she's just noticing. Notice she doesn't say anything to the contrary, even when Liandrin comes back into the tower. She's listening. Liandrin has her little alibi straight. And when she was saying all of this, I was like, either she is really, really good at lying, or she actually took the steps to go to the city and get the white asparagus so that she would have her alibi. I was like, this bitch.
No, she's really good at it because she's been hiding this shit the whole time. It's like she has to be like the epitome of liars. Like
that bitch is shady. She is
Shady as fuck.
Shady.
As
Man.
fuck.
But even with that, Verin was kind of like, she didn't say nothing. She was just like, oh, okay, so you have this. So I came to meet the girls, but they're not. And Liandrin was like, well, why wouldn't they be in the tower? Well, I heard that they went to go, they went with the Dark Air. Oh, I heard that that a convoy was attacked on the way to, oh my God, if they were with, I was like, yes, bitch. And Verin is just sitting there like, okay, yeah, just gonna dig that hole just a little bit deeper. Dig it just a little bit deeper. I was just like,
Yeah, then she was like, we should go check. What? Come on, let's go.
right. And Verin's just sitting there like, Like, I've never seen Liandrin this eager about anything in my life unless it has to deal with killing men. So,
Right.
yeah, I was like, this bitch. And then of course for them to sit here and figure out, they're looking at the entry in the book and they're like, okay. What was Katie Young's character's name? It was like Yasica or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
She
Yasica.
was sitting there. She was like, okay, this is where my
Eidetic.
yes, thank you, because I can never pronounce that word right. Memory comes in play. She was like, so this is her handwriting, but there's a little section where the handwriting looks a little bit shaky, blah blah blah, like she wasn't sure. And when you look at the handwriting, I'm like, who is really going to pay that much attention? Like, really sit there and look with a magnifying glass. Oh, yeah, there's a little squiggly line here that shouldn't be. Like, I was like, yeah, you definitely brought the Ravenclaw over into this one because other than that, you just sitting here thinking that maybe Sharam Sadai was lying. And I mean, if they didn't have that to go by, they really could have thought that Sharam was Black Aja as well, because she literally sat there and told a lie, even though in her mind she didn't know it. But yeah, I was like, how far is Liandrin's treachery gonna go? Because I hate to say it, she can't be the only one. She cannot be working alone. She cannot be doing this alone. She can't be.
Right. You would think. You would think that there'd be someone else, but I mean, I just don't think she's so good at this. It's scary. Like,
yes, but the thing is, if she gets, I'm not even gonna say if she gets caught, when she gets caught, because eventually she's gonna have to get caught. Okay, because now you have people from the outside who are not living in the White Tower with you, who are there and who are observing things that are not supposed to be. Verin is very sharp. She's very observant. I mean, we know that from when Moraine was staying with her, the different little things that she was noticing that Moraine wasn't saying anything. She was one who's like, yeah, that boy that you had and those other kids from Two Rivers, one of them is the dragon, right? She was like, yeah, you ain't have to tell me. I just kind of observe. Like, Verin pays close attention. So somebody there has to catch on, has to see that Liandrin's doing something that's not quite right, or I mean, even more not quite right than usual. Unless she has other people with her, she can't fight a whole. I don't think she's strong enough to fight a whole tower by herself.
The White Tower's official stance is the Black Aja does not exist. But here, these Brown sisters have proven that if Shiriam was under compulsion, then it had to have been someone who was sworn to the dark.
Who else is it going to be? Nobody else comes in the tower.
Yeah.
Nobody else can have that kind of access to Shiriam.
Right. Anyone who swore the oaths would not be able to do compulsion.
Yeah.
So if they're channeling, it's a woman who's an Aes Sedai who isn't sworn bound by the oaths, i.e., Black Aja.
Yeah.
So.
And I think this is the first mention we've heard of Black Aja in this series so far, right? Because I
don't remember if they mentioned it before.
I don't think
they may have. And then maybe someone say they don't exist. I don't know. Can't remember.
Okay. Yeah, again, I do still need to go back and rewatch season 1, but I don't think they've mentioned it before, but again, that would be very interesting if if it's more than her, because that means that there is some other treachery going on that we haven't even seen yet. Because again,
Mm-hmm.
that's a lot. Like, yeah, getting 2 novices or 3 novices out of the out of the tower, taking them to the Seanchan. Yeah, okay, that's something she probably could do by herself. But somebody's got to cover for her. Somebody's got to make sure that everyone else is looking the other way. I can't wrap my mind around the fact that she would be doing all of this by herself.
I think it
So,
was episode 4. Verin mentioned the Black Aja.
okay. Okay. So, Liandrin, that bitch. Oh boy. But okay. Let's move to some other stuff. Let's talk about Rand and Moraine for a little bit, because I don't think I've ever seen Moraine move as fast as she is at the beginning of this episode.
Let me tell you, after seeing what Lanfear did, bring herself back, put herself back together. If I knew she could do that, I'd be running too.
This bitch
Man,
literally zipped her throat back up
yeah.
like a
She's
zipper.
like she's literally like the Scarlet Witch meets Freddy Krueger. I'm like, she is just fuck. Like
Not
all this stuff, like
not even just the what she did to fix herself together, to put herself together. When she goes searching for them and she comes across the guy
mhm.
on his horse and he's just asking questions, like he doesn't even know that she's evil. He's just like, hey, do you need some help? Yeah, where does this road go? To Tarvalon. Oh, he asked her one question and she just flicks her hand and his whole fucking head explodes. I was like, am I watching The Boys? What is going on here?
I knew
Wrong
you'd say that.
Amazon show.
Wrong
Yeah.
show. Head popper.
It's almost like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. It's like, oh God. Like
Just
even
took his head clean off.
But can we back up for a second?
Yes.
I want to take a moment. Did you notice anything about Lanfear's channeling? Normally, when you see an Aes Sedai channel, especially when they heal, you see threads of, I think.
Oh, you mean the black?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
yeah.
did notice that. But I kind
Mm-hmm.
of figured, like, I don't think that surprised me, because at the beginning of last episode, when we saw Ishmael breaking Lanfear out of her prison, when she was forming, she had like some black goo mixed in with the red blood. So that didn't really surprise me much.
Really?
I just thought that that was just because she was forsaken, that's just how she channels. But is there something significant about that
Yes.
that you can tell without it being spoilery? We can do a little bit spoilers. Your screen name says, I promise no spoilers. Maybe. Let's put this under
Maybe.
the maybe.
Aha.
So here's a maybe that's not really a spoilers, I don't think. Not
Okay.
yet. By the time anything significant happens, y'all won't remember this anyway.
Okay.
We talked about the one power, and
Mm-hmm.
there's
Hmm.
a male and female side of the one power,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and that's Sidene and Sidar.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they're channeling, right?
Okay.
Um,
Sidene is for the women and side R is for the men, right? Or do I have that
I think
reversed?
Sidene is men, Sidar is women.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Um, the source of that is the true source. It comes from the wheel. That's from the creator, the true source.
Okay.
However,
Mm-hmm.
there is another, the true power.
Okay.
The true power has a source, and it is the dark one.
Okay.
That is
Hmm.
a separate power from the one power.
Huh.
Okay. Okay.
And the characteristics of people who channel the true power, the black specks in their eyes,
Mm-hmm.
is a characteristic of the true power.
Okay.
But you can only channel it if he allows you to. And there are very few that are allowed to channel the true power.
Okay. So that tells you how high up on the totem pole she really is. But
Yes,
that's the thing. I was thinking about that too when Moraine and Rand are running. And of course, Rand is trying to get answers because he's still thinking like, you killed her. And Moraine is like, dude, I keep telling you, that's gonna barely leave a scratch.
Yeah.
She
It's
will
just gonna
be
piss her
fine.
off.
And you
Yeah.
saw when she was using the whip, that was one
Mhm.
power. When she popped the people head versus head, that was using the one power. So
So she
she
has access to both. Okay. Okay. But yeah, so and I noticed that when Rand and Moraine were having the conversation and Moraine was kind of giving him the rundown, I was thinking about how we've been hard on Rand. We like, Rand, you just all out in the open. You're not really hiding yourself. Blah, you using your same name. Aren't people looking for you? And then when they had that conversation, it kind of reminded me of everything. One, Rand did not know until that moment that Moraine told him that what he fought in the last season was not the last battle. He
Mhm.
thought that he fought the Dark One and that was the last battle.
he thought it was over.
He thought it was over, which is why he wasn't hiding like we thought he should be hiding. And then
Mm-hmm.
she was like, yeah, you didn't fight. That was not the last battle. That was not the Dark One. You set one of his top lieutenants free. And Rand is sitting here looking at her like, the fuck did you just say? She was like, yeah. And Lanfear is his top person.
Rand, you in danger, boy.
Right.
You're in danger, boy.
And I had to sit there and think about it. I was like, okay, so we really have to kind of give Rand some space because he didn't know. He thought, okay, I did what I was supposed to do at the end of the world. That's why he told Moraine to tell everyone he was dead, because he was like, okay, I did what I was supposed to do as a dragon. Now I just gotta, deal with this thing that's gonna eventually make me crazy and make me want to kill my friends. So I'm gonna go as far away from them as possible. And so he really thought that he was safe being away from them. And then now he finds out that not only did he not fight the last battle, not only did he not defeat the Dark One, that wasn't even the Dark One that he was having a conversation with. That was his lackey. So you still ain't met the head dude. And then you're having to wrap your brain around all of this while fleeing for your life from the person that you literally just professed your love to, finding out that not only is she not who you thought she was, but she is the first lieutenant of the lieutenant of the Dark One. Like, she is high up on the totem pole, and now she's coming to find you. And Moraine is like, if we don't hurry up, we dead. We really dead. That's again, going back to the last episode when I was telling Mike to give Rand some slack. This boy got a lot to deal with, and he doesn't even have all the facts. So I was sitting here like, I don't know, he's having to wrap his mind around that. And then not only that, you just saw Moraine quote unquote, kill somebody, which, yeah, they had a lot of things to say about Moraine in the first season, but he's never seen her be ruthless like that. She literally stuck a sword through Lanfear's chest and then slit her throat and then was like, pick up your sword, let's go. They get to the stable, they find horses. She basically tells the stable keeper was like, I'm not gonna say anything. Oh no, you're coming with us. And then she goes to kill the fourth horse, and Rand is like, why you gotta do that? Because there's an extra horse. We can't give her a way to follow us. And she kills the horse, and Rand is sitting there looking at her like, who the fuck is this? And what did you do with Moraine? He's not used to this. He's still trying to wrap his mind around this. And he's having to flee for his life. So he doesn't, again, we talk about this all the time. They deal with trauma, chaos, and they don't have time to sit and think about it and process it and get to a point where they're like, okay, this has happened. This is how I got to deal with it. Now we can move on. He doesn't have time to do that because he's, again, fleeing for his life.
He doesn't realize that she sent that woman off with those horses, knowing that she was gonna die.
Right.
He didn't know that.
Right.
He
Well,
didn't
here's
think
the
about
thing.
that.
She didn't die,
Well,
but she
how's
She
she
ain't
gonna
saying nothing.
how's she gonna eat?
that's what I was just about to say. She gonna die eventually because she can't eat. She literally melted her mouth shut like Neo from the Matrix. She just
Like Scarlet Witch did Black Bolt and
that too. Yes. I was just like, because when I saw the lady, because what happens is Moraine and Rand get off the horses and they hide. Lanfear rides past them, and Moraine was like, "Yeah, it's going to be about a day or so before she realizes that we've tricked her and she's going to come back." And when I saw the lady with the horses, I was like, "Wow, she really did that." And the lady was like, "Yeah, can't believe she used you as bait." Like, okay, gotta give Moraine a little more credit. Even when she was talking to Ishmael later on, Ishmael was like, "So how did Rand take it when you told him about what you are?" She was like, "I didn't tell him. Moraine did." Oh, and she was just giving him that look, and he was like, "Oh." She was like, "You had to leave her alive." Like, what was it? What she said when she woke up from being dead? She was like, "Bitch." Like, I can't believe she did that. Moraine got a little bit more backbone than y'all think she does. And that shows you also about Moraine's character. Moraine, when she says she is willing to do what she needs to do to keep Rand alive, she was not joking with y'all. She was like, "Oh, I got to stab a bitch in the heart and slit her throat." Done.
I gotta kill a horse. Done. I
Right.
gotta leave a woman to die for no reason. Done.
Right.
Because
Right.
Lanfear didn't have to kill the man on the horse. She could have just bound him
She
and threw him
didn't.
down. She didn't have to kill. She didn't have to close him out. Woman's mouth. The woman didn't even say anything out of pocket.
She didn't.
She
Oh,
didn't even know
what
what
did
she
she
was
say?
doing.
She said,
Well,
"Oh,
she
I
did.
won't.
I'm
I won't
not. I
kill."
won't say anything. I won't.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, of
that
course she
I
would.
think was what,
Yeah.
because you could have
See,
just
I
made
like her.
it.
That's my kind of sense here. I probably would have done the same thing. I would have been like, oh, let me make sure.
Yeah, because most of the times when people say they won't say anything, they end up saying something. So
But
Lanfear
who is
knew
she
that.
gonna say to about anything? What was she gonna say? This woman came chasing after these two people on the horse.
She could have, yeah, yeah.
But what
But
significance would it have? None.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
enough to where she probably would have been like, no,
But
like
I
give
mean,
she.
if
I think part of it was to just show that Lanfear doesn't really care about anybody. She
right,
has no regard for life.
right, and that is corroborated with Moraine's statement later on when they get into Tarvalon. She tells Rand, because he's talking about how he's tired. He was like, "We need to sleep." She was like, "Oh no, we absolutely do not need to sleep." And she said Lanfear was known for two things. This is what made her so dangerous as a Forsaken. One, what did she say? She said something about just unnecessary cruelty. Like, she can
Mhm.
be just callously cruel for no reason. And two, she can come to you in your dreams and she can kill you in your dreams just as sure as she can kill you in real life. And Rand is
Yes.
again turning, looking at her like, "What the fuck did I just get at myself to?"
Yeah, she was a master of Teleron Riyadh, which is the dream world.
Yeah, I mean,
She
we
was a
see that
master.
later on because she even gets into Ishmael's dream.
Yeah. He did say, "Hey, I've had time to learn." So he's been working on it.
Right.
Uh-huh. And apparently Ishmael dreams about Rand with the short red hair. Like
I was like, but you know
I was
what?
like, hey yo.
I was like, is he doing that because it's Rand, or is he doing that because he knows it's her? Like, she's dangling a prize in front of him. He's just
There,
like, yeah, whatever. I know it's
there,
you.
there, there's a reason that he's like that with Rand.
Mm.
The boy is mine. The doggone boy
No,
is mine.
that's not it. That's not it. Not that reason.
Yeah. But okay, since we got to Moraine and Rand, let's continue with that little thread, because she does go back to her sister's house, disheveled, full of blood on her stuff. and she has an extra person, but we get to meet her nephew in this one too. So it's
The
like
king, the future king.
the future king or king consort, queen consort, whatever you want to call it. But again, I find it interesting because Moraine, we just saw her do all this stuff. We just saw her be cruel. We just saw her be kind of calculating, cold. And then she gets home and her sister comes to see her and starts talking to her. And you kind of see her let her walls down for a bit, which is very, very rare for Moraine. We don't really see that a lot. And she gets some advice from her sister, which is advice that her sister gave her, or advice that she gave her sister years ago. And it was basically like anytime something hard comes up, anytime you're uncertain of anything, my older sister told me this: be true. Or what is it true? Is it true? And something about that makes Moraine go, huh, okay. Because what is it that Nynaeve asked her? She said, is it true that Rand needs protection that only you can provide? And it's kind of like, oh wait, huh. Maybe I'm not the only person who can save him. And I was like, oh, look at Moraine listening to somebody. What a novel thing, because Moraine don't listen to nobody. Nobody.
No, she takes in new information and she processes it very quickly.
But
unless you have new information, she doesn't need to process it. She underestimated her sister once. She's not going to do it again.
Yeah, because
she made that mistake once, and she
and
won't.
sister, yeah,
yeah, she's not going to. So if her sister says something, this time she's going to listen.
Yeah, because that sister might know a little something that she doesn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we
but
saw that.
I am concerned about her son, her nephew, because he's like, Rand, aren't you tired? Shouldn't you get some sleep? So
So
now I'm concerned, right?
yeah, because and you know, I think the first time I watched it, I didn't pay attention to that because you literally just met Rand and you saw how bedraggled they looked when they came in. And I mean, when we see people who look tired, we'll say something to that effect. Are you okay? Are you tired? Are you getting enough rest? That sort of thing. But yeah, it just seems weird.
And too on the nose, I think. Too
Very
much.
much so. So I don't know. And then, you know, his whole thing about Moraine, and granted, I know it's been 20 years since you've seen your auntie and you kind of want her to stick around. But to pull the whole, I'm about to be the king, and I'm basically telling you that as my what is it? That I'm ordering you to stay. I'm ordering you to come to my wedding. I'm ordering you to be here. The wedding is not for a few weeks. You really think Moraine is about to sit in one place, even if you don't know what's going on with her? Like, this is a woman you ain't seen in 20 years. You think she coming for a leisurely visit to watch
Right.
a royal wedding and all this other stuff? No, that don't seem like the right thing to do. So I don't know. He seems him seems a little suspect. But I don't know. Is it that everybody that we're looking at in this particular show now, are we double guessing everyone?
We have
Because
to because everybody's shiesty. You can't trust none of these motherfuckers around here.
Well, I don't trust him because in the book, the person he's supposed to marry is actually a king, which he's not gonna in the book. He's not set. There's no arranged marriage in the book,
okay.
so it makes me think that this this is going to be something just for the TV show.
Mm.
Which I think they're trying to give him a motivation to do things
Okay.
that I'm just gonna say that is again something they've done in the show that Robert Jordan didn't necessarily do in the book, which was make characters more more have
Two
more depth.
dimensional. Yeah.
Yeah, and not be one note. So in order to give this character some more depth and maybe some more motivation,
Mm-hmm.
you make it where he has something to lose, which is his arranged marriage to make him king. Because in the book, there's no arranged marriage. Galdrian or Galadrian, it's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to is a king and is the king of Camelot. So he's not marrying a dude. This is not how it is in the book. No.
Okay.
So I think they've
Hmm.
Wait,
just
Camelin, isn't that where Elayne is from?
or Karen,
Karian.
Karen.
Karian.
Karen,
Okay.
Karen. Which I don't know why Robert Jordan did it. The city of Karian and the country is Karian, which is just I don't understand why he did that. But
Karian and Camelin. I
no,
think where Elayne is from is Camelin.
Camelin, yes, but Karian is a city in the country of Karian,
It's like New York, New York.
right?
Oh,
And Camelin is in Andor,
okay.
not to be
Okay.
confused with Cassian of Andor
I
or
know.
Arnor in Middle Earth.
Yeah, because I think when Elayne was first introduced and she said something about Andor, I was like, huh? And I was like, did I hear that wrong? Because I was thinking Star Wars and I was like, wait, that's not right. But
Mhm.
yeah, too many of these fantasy places got they got too many names that sound familiar. But okay. But yeah,
I just hope Moraine's sister isn't a dark flame. That would be too much. I could take it if he was, but not if she was.
I mm, I don't I don't think her sister is.
I just hope
I
she's not.
I don't
Mm,
because mm,
mm.
because it would be too easy. Like especially with Moraine being there, Rand being there. I think if her sister was a dark friend, they wouldn't have to go through all of this like the conversation that Ishmael and Lanfear are having about the other Forsaken and about how they're going to play this and how how the other people are kind of playing into all of this. They wouldn't need to have all of this conversation if Anver was a dark friend because all she'd have to do is summon them, and I mean she's got them both right there. And granted, Moraine is probably of no use to them, but yeah, Rand is right there. If she were a dark friend, she would know that Rand is at least on the radar, even though, he supposedly is dead. I think Ishmael would have been like, hey, by the way, I need you to be on the lookout. And she could have given Rand up long ago if she was a dark friend because she's the one who told Moraine where Rand was.
I mean, didn't she?
Unless there's a plan. Remember, remember
I mean, didn't
he
she?
has a
Didn't
plan.
she like? Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, I'm talking
Didn't
about
but
Ishamael. Ishamael has a plan. His plan is not to capture and kill Rand. He has a plan.
Yeah.
yeah, but
Okay.
He's had
didn't
plenty of opportunity to do that. He's had plenty of opportunity to capture him. Plenty of opportunity to throw the whole thing. He could have killed Perrin. He
Right.
could have had Matt killed. He could
But
have
no,
had
because he said
Egwene.
something in this conversation, like he's waiting for Perrin to turn into what he's supposed to be, whatever him being a wolf brother is supposed to be. He said something about that in
He
that
does.
conversation with
He
Lanfear.
does. He said he'll be. It's not important because he'll be more wolf than man anyway.
Yeah.
But the point is, a
Not a
lot of his
werewolf, Mike.
a lot of his plans are about time and patience,
Okay.
letting things play out. So even if they were dark friends, they would still let them be about their way because he would have told them, I have plans,
Okay.
you know? And he's not going to tell anyone plan. He's like, no, this is what you're going to do. You're going to give them everything they want, everything they need to get where they need to go because I need them to be there. Like
Okay.
he said, the final battle will be determined based on what happens in Falme.
Phone.
So he needs everyone to be in Falme.
Well, then,
Not,
but didn't Moraine's sister, like, was she introduced to Rand, or did Rand just walk up to her, or
No,
did she just
remember
walk?
he
she was the
met her
one who
before.
she was the one who walked up to Rand at the party, at the hot who
Mm,
hoity-toity party, and was the
right.
one who warned him about such. That's why when Moraine was making her introduction, she was like, "We've already met." And
Yeah.
Rand
No,
was
no,
like,
no. I know, no, I know, but that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I mean, like you said, if someone told her to keep an eye out for a tall redheaded guy who looks like looks way out of place around here, there he is. Oh, let me see if this is who they're talking about. Start a conversation with him, maybe flirt with him a little bit. Then here comes Celine slash Frida Kruger over there, and she kind of interrupts it and pulls him away.
Frida
mm,
Kruger, really?
I mean, I think, okay, I'm sorry, it's been a minute. I think
Oh,
that I'll put it out there that Moraine's sister may have been coerced by Ishmael or someone or a dark friend or someone like that because of the painful because of the things that have gone on with Moraine, like Moraine leaving and her being without him and everything going to shit and all that other stuff. Maybe she
mm,
made a deal, and
mm.
that's how the family snapped back so quick.
And now her
Well,
son is about to
not
marry the queen.
right. I
Yeah,
mean, that's a
big come
big
up.
turnaround for them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe she turned to save the family, and this is what she has to do as penance.
I don't know if I buy that though. I just
And it makes sense to me, Mike.
she seems to me like she has, I don't know, something about her seems like she wouldn't accept help from anybody else to do what she had to do to bring her family back to where their status should be.
Desperate
I,
times
I
call for
just
desperate measures.
I just I don't know if I see
I
it with
I
her.
I understand what you're saying, Hanako, but one of the issues with Robert Jordan's writing, he's never been labeled as misogynistic, but a lot of his characters are problematic in some ways,
Mm-hmm.
especially his characterization of women.
Mm-hmm.
So it's there, but I understand why you would be hesitant and reluctant because it would be great to know that she got to where she was just based on how she was and who she was and
Mm-hmm.
not wanting to be a certain way. But we also have to kind of remember that the source material, Robert Jordan wasn't he wrote some strong women, but they a lot of them still were problematic. Um the fact that as strong as Nynaeve was, she could only channel when she was angry. You
Mm-hmm.
know, even in the
Yeah.
show, she can only channel because of her feelings for a man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I understand where you're coming from, and we would hope that she didn't make a deal to get where she was, but we also can't kind of dismiss it either.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want it to be true
We
because I
don't want
mean,
it to be true, but it kind of tracks with what's going on.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, in a party full of people, she just meanders right over to him. It could be because he's a new face, but it could be because she was told to look for a new face and see if that's who it was. So, I mean, and everybody's in on it. I mean, maybe her son's life was maybe he died and she made a deal to save him, and he knows about it and he's trying not to die. I mean, there's a whole lot. There's a litany of reasons that she could have made a deal. I'm just saying that everything falling in line the way it is just way too convenient.
And there's a subtext in this show about swearing oaths and exchanging and like looking at the reason why anyone would swear allegiance to the dark.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like Liandrin was trying to say everyone kind of has a price.
Yeah, but
Everyone,
even with that, and I know we see that a lot in all kinds of stories. You always have those people who, like you said, have a price, but there's always one or two for who, because of who they are, because of their character, they can't be bought. And I don't know, there's something about Moraine's sister. Maybe it's about the fact that she used to idolize Moraine so much. Maybe it's just the fact that she made such a point of letting Moraine know what she had to do in order to bring their family back up to status. Something tells me she would be too proud to all of a sudden capitulate to somebody else and be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do whatever you say just because I want this, I want that. I think she's too proud of that. So, or too proud for that. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see in the next few episodes whether or not that is the case. But in the meanwhile, like you said, the son, he might seem a little questionable, but again, we just met him, so we don't know what he's like either. It's just the fact that him saying that whole, oh, Rand, don't you want to go to sleep thing right after Moraine said, you can't go to sleep, that does seem a little sketchy. But that could also be the writers kind of throwing us off the track, you know. They could be making us think it's him, and it could be on there. I don't think it is, but we'll see. But in any rate, Moraine tells Rand that they are going to stay. And then she brings him to her room. And she's like, yeah, you need to sleep. And he's like, excuse me, you told me I can't go to sleep. She said, you can't go to sleep by yourself, but you can go to sleep and I can watch over you because we need Lanfair to get in touch with you. And he was like, hold up, hold up. Rand is like, wait, God damn it, you've been playing everybody else for bait. Now you want me to be bait? You want me to go to sleep so she can come to me in my dreams? Why would you do that? He was like, and he basically told her, he was like, look, you want me to pretend I'm in love with a Forsaken? He was like, I gotta tell you, regardless of what she is, some of that might not have been fake. Like there really could have been something between us. And she was like, whatever you want to do, whatever you're comfortable with, if you go to sleep and she comes to you, at least you can figure out what she wants. And if it looks like she's hurting you, I can wake you up. But I don't think she's going to because there might be that connection. I was like, and Rand is just sitting there like, first you tell me no, now you tell me yes, you tell me don't do this, you tell me to run from her, now you tell me to go to her. Like, what do you want me to do? But of course he goes to sleep, and here comes Lanfair having him tied up and bound.
almost immediately, as soon as he closed his eyes, he was
Literally. But you know, she was waiting for him. She was
yeah.
in the dream world waiting for him. So she
Soon,
was
as soon
like,
as, as soon as
yes.
he closed his eyes, he ended up in a damn Janet Jackson concert. All of a sudden, Ropeburn started playing.
Right,
Like,
right.
damn.
No shirt,
Like,
in the desert, sweaty, and
exactly.
she fully dressed, and she's like, finally. I'm like, oh
All
God.
of a sudden, we on the Velvet Rope tour.
Right.
Exactly.
The
Tie
only
me
thing
up, tie me down.
Right. The only thing we need is for her to climb on top of him and
On
do the
top
little
of
gyrating
exactly.
thing like she does. But
Shout out to
yeah.
Carlos, by the way.
But yeah, I was just like, okay. So like I don't know how Rand is gonna play this in this dream because he was like, I gotta go in here and pretend like, I'm still in love with her and try to he's gonna have to try and bullshit his way around that. Be like, okay, so you need to explain to me because Moraine told me this, that, and the other about you. I don't want to believe it's true. You got to tell me the truth. And then what is she gonna do? I kind of have a feeling she's probably gonna be like, okay, yeah, so yeah, I am a Forsaken. This is what I'm here for, and I want you to come to the dark side with me. She's gonna pull a Vader on him, and he's gonna be like,
Mm-hmm.
what? But
Vader.
I'm just saying,
Yep.
come to the
Yep.
dark side.
Come to the dark side. Get this cake.
Well, at least you didn't say cookies, but yeah, I mean, because other than that, like the fact that she is still alive after Moraine killed her, that's already gonna throw up the red flag for Rand. He's gonna be like, okay, so I literally saw you get stuck, get stabbed in the chest and you had your throat slashed. How are you here right now? So it's not like she can exactly like lie to him and be like, oh, she missed me by inch. She just stabbed me in my shoulder. Oh, okay, your throat. No,
Nah, I
what are we
bet she
doing
was
here?
dead.
Right? What are we
You was
doing?
dead.
What is this here? So she's got to tell him the truth. Now, whether she tells him the truth and then be like, well, I'm actually just trying to protect you, or if she's going to be like, I want you to come to the dark side. This is what I need from you, or this is what you need to do, or blah, blah, blah. That remains to be seen. But I'm just like, give the man some time to get over his shit before you just throw him back to the wolves. Give him some.
Hey, how smart do you think she is?
Who? Moraine
Moraine. No, yeah,
or Lanfair?
Moraine or Lanfair?
Landfair. Landfair.
She's been in existence for thousands of years. She's probably extremely smart.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the Dark One would keep somebody dumb in the upper echelons of his.
I mean, she could be powerful and not have a lot of like common sense. Like what I'm wondering is, would she know that Moraine is right there to wake him up?
Probably so. She probably
I'm
would.
sure she does because she.
Okay.
Especially if they know anything about Moraine, like Moraine has no powers right now. So she literally risked her life coming to get Rand. So at this point, they probably know that she is going to do whatever she needs to do to protect Rand. So, and I think Ishamael probably knows that too, which is probably one of the reasons why he took her power from her. So, yeah, she knows that Moraine is not going to let Rand just wander into that dreamscape unattended or unbeknownst to her. Yeah, I think she very much knows. Now, does she suspect that Rand would go back and tell Moraine? I don't know. I think that would depend on the strength of what she thinks he feels for her, or what she thinks or may actually feel for him.
Yeah, but in this episode, we don't know what she's gonna say to him because all she says to him is finally.
Yeah, and then cut.
Right.
But
I mean, she could be saying finally because she's like, okay, I got you up here half naked. This is a final booty call before I kill you. I mean, she could be doing that. We don't know. I doubt it. But again, yeah, I think she's smart enough to know that Rand is probably coming in there with the full knowledge of what he's going to encounter when he has a confrontation with her. Like Rand is not at this point, he's not going to be naive about it. He's not going to be like, well, Moraine told me this about you. Tell me it's not true. I don't think Rand is going to do that. He's going to be like, you need to tell me the fucking truth.
Right now, it'll be interesting to know why she strung him up and didn't necessarily shield him. But I guess we'll find out next episode.
Maybe she thinks that he can channel in the dream world, and she's like, yeah, let's not have that happen.
Yeah, but she probably didn't shield him though. We'll see. I just thought about that just now. Like, why did she tie him up on a wheel? But I know there's some symbolism there that she strung him up on a wheel with 7 spokes representing the 7 ages, which is crazy.
See, you're looking at all of that. I'm looking at this woman was literally sitting on top of him when she got killed, and she's probably like, "You owe me."
Like, now, because
if he does channel and break the wheel to escape, that's literally what they want him to do.
Yeah. So okay.
So I'll give production designers a little bit of credit on that.
Yeah, throwing some stuff that we may or may not see, because I didn't even think about that. But again, it's been a minute since I've seen this episode. Like half the stuff that happened in this episode, I didn't remember happened. I was like, oh yeah, it did happen. Oh
Like Avienda and Perrin.
yeah, let's go there because I was just
Yeah,
about to go
and the
there.
white cloaks. We finally get to see them.
So
Back to
let me
Avienda
just
and
say,
Perrin, or Perrin and Elias.
yeah, let's
Mhm.
start there because I don't
Perrin,
really want to talk about Child Valder right now. So yeah, let's start with
Perrin's
Perrin
like, wait
town,
a second, you took us back to whatchamacallit.
the town. I
To
can't remember
yeah, was it
Tuarth,
Tuan's Fall? What was it?
whatever. The place where we got attacked and captured. You brought us
Yeah.
back here.
We're basically in the big circle.
Right. Like you're supposed to be taking me to save my friends. And Elias keeps trying to tell Perrin, though those guys, they're not your pack. The
He said,
people from the
especially your wife.
he said the people from the two rivers are not your pack. Your wife is not your pack. I said, bruh, you saying the
Watch
wrong
it.
thing right
Wait,
now.
okay. So when Perrin he thinks about what happened. I swear that clip of his wife looked like she was about to ask him in the back when he turned around. So y'all gonna make me they're gonna make me go back and rewatch that
I don't
And
episode.
look
freeze
at you. I
frame it
don't
and that kind of
Yeah,
take it frame by frame so you can see which way it goes.
I don't want to do that. But I
I
swear it
mean,
looked like she was
because
yeah,
Perrin was basically reacting out of instinct. Like if someone
yeah,
was
because
attacking, he would just turn.
imagine imagine if she was a dark friend there to watch them.
oh, that's no, I don't want to do that.
What better way? What better way? What better way to get close to somebody than to
Y'all
marry him?
can't taint Layla's image after a whole season and a half of us feeling with Perrin the loss of his pregnant wife. Y'all cannot do that. No.
I don't
Tainted.
know because she don't exist in the book. So
I'll go back and look at it later, but no, I don't think that's what happened. I'm gonna call it. That is not what happened. But anyway, the fact that Elias brings her up, I was like, dude, you really want to piss this dude off? Like, why are you doing this? And Perrin is like, look, I don't care what you say. You don't know nothing about me. You don't know nothing about my pack. I'm going to find my friends. I'm going to save them. So he ends up leaving, and then Hopper follows him. And Hopper is showing him images from the town. Like he takes him back to the edge of the town. And Perrin is like, dude, I already said I'm not going over there. And he shows him an image of Uno. Like they literally put Uno's body in a cage and left him hanging in the air. And Perrin is pissed. He's like, they didn't even give him a proper burial. Because remember, that's important for them, even for the people who, were dark friends that they found a couple of episodes ago. They still gave them a proper burial. So Perrin's like, okay, I guess I got to go across the street and find him and, bury him. And then he comes across this girl that's also in a cage. She's being held captive. And there's a guy who comes from the village and he tells Perrin, he was like, yo, you don't want to let her out of her cage. Like, she's a beast. She's already killed several men. She's maimed a few others. Just leave her alone. Like, I'm being nice by giving her water, but he also throws the water to her. He's like, yeah, the last person who got close to her, she broke his arm. So no.
did he
Perrin
say she
goes,
killed? Did he say she killed several people?
I think,
I think he did.
I don't think he
yeah, I
did.
think he did. Because that's the reason why she was in the cage. And that's also the reason why he was telling Perrin, he was like, look, he was like, as far as that girl goes, leave her alone. Like, you can't help her now. That was basically saying whatever she has done, she will be put to death for it. That was what that implication was. Like, she's made her bed, now she's got to lie in it. But the thing is, Perrin doesn't know who this guy is because when he comes out, he's got a coat on. He's very nice to him.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, okay, so are you a traveler? This town got captured by some invaders a few days ago, but we chased them off, or or they're gone. And he was like, hey, let's get you something to eat. You can get a room for the night, and then you can be on your way. So Perrin's like, okay, they go to the inn, And then Perrin realizes there are white cloaks walking around the town. And when the guy turns around to speak to the innkeeper, he sees a little bit of the white cloak up under his coat. So he walks in with the innkeeper. He asked him, he was like, hey, what happened to the lady that was here? And he says she followed the caravan that had her daughter, her granddaughter. And Perrin was like, so what happened to Seanchan? He was like, yeah. He was like, the white cloaks came in a few days after that and pushed them out. So I was like, wait a minute, the Seanchan came with all of those soldiers, came with the boats, and they let the white cloaks push them out. But I think they were probably already on their way out. And then at the same time, like they said at the beginning, the High Lord, he was like, we can't hold it. And I guess he was right because the white cloaks came right on in and pushed them out.
And
So
white cloaks ain't no
then,
joke either. So it's like,
no, but they also, I don't think, had the number that the Seanchan had. I don't think. But I mean, they could have.
White cloaks are really, really, really good fighters. They're
Apparently
really good.
not, from what I saw.
because one of them's a sword master.
There's levels.
Yeah.
There's levels to this shit.
There's levels to this.
Yeah.
You know,
the Avienda's like up here.
The Aiel are no joke.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, there's levels to this shit, and then there's Aiel. But okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, but
if you think about
so,
that, the Aiel war wasn't even all of the Aiel. It was just a few clans.
Okay.
And they literally lost like 5 people and just cut their way through whole armies on their way.
I believe it. I believe it because
Anyway.
Perrin is inside the inn. He hears Child Valda talking to the guy that helped him. And Child Valda, of course, he's being his usual asshole, condescending self talking to the guy because he basically was like, I told you to kill her. I told you not to help her. And the dude was like, she's caged. She's not going to do anything as long as we don't get close to her. I mean, he literally keeps saying, just don't get near her. You'll be fine. We'll be fine. So Perrin goes to sleep, and then when he wakes up, he's getting ready to sneak out of the village, and then he goes past her cage, and he turns back for her, and he lets her out, and she was like, so what did she call him? A wetlander?
Wetlander.
One wetlander puts me in the cage, another one lets me out. She was like, why are you doing that? And he looks at her and he says, because people don't belong in cages. And I guess that was the right thing for him to say because she was like, okay, cool. They're getting ready to leave, and here come the white cloaks surrounding them. And the dude who had helped them earlier, he tells Perrin, he was like, I told you not to get near her, not to help her. But now, okay, we're going to have to fight you too. But he tells his men, he said, when I give the signal, attack all at once, because if you fight her one by one, she will take you down. I was like, okay, it's one thing hearing this. Then when Perrin gets ready to step in front of her to protect her, and she laughs, I said, oh, this is about to get interesting. Because all she had to do was that laugh. Perrin just looked at her like, oh, it's almost like he got it immediately. You laugh at, oh, I guess okay, my bad. Let me step on back.
I would have gone AWOL from the people of light. I'm like, nah, I'm in the dark. I'm gone. No,
well, like Anthony just said, they are good fighters. So maybe they thought that all together they could take her.
But they didn't fight all together. They didn't.
They started.
They had one
they
job.
started.
I had the same thought the first time I watched this episode. When he said that, I said, like, that's gonna make a difference.
But it's like, but then one of them goes, but then they start attacking her individually, and it's like, what did he just say? Like, all together means all together. It doesn't mean you then you then you. It means all y'all. And
you know, I like quoting wise men. A wise man once said, "Everybody has a plan until they get punched."
They get punched in the mouth. Exactly. Basically, yeah.
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 But I remember when she stepped out, like I said, she did that laugh, and she says, Perrin Ibarra, do you like to dance? And she pulled that thing up over her mouth. And I remember Anthony saying, for an Aielman, if they pull their thing over their mouth, run. He was like,
and there might not be enough.
Right.
You know what I thought? I was thinking. This made me think of Kingsman when when Lancelot was like man when he was like manners maketh
Mhm.
man. It's
Mhm.
like I was
Yeah.
like, oh, y'all got I be like you.
She pulled
I'm
that thing
good.
over her mouth. I was like, because even when the fighting started, Perrin was just sitting there looking like, wow. And then of course they started coming after him, and then you see him fully unleashed. He picked up a weapon, and the two of them, it was just like it was beautiful. I can't say anything. It was beautiful. Like I said, I'm
Yeah,
looking at her and the moves that she's doing, and I was like, she and Natasha would get along so well.
So I will say I did scan and go back. No, he didn't say anything about her killing anyone.
Oh, okay.
So if you notice, her and Perrin, they didn't kill anyone. They just maimed maimed them and broke arms, and
Oh
legs
yeah,
and stuff.
because she was about to kill that other guy, and Perrin made
Yeah.
her stop
Yeah.
because what did he say? He
He
gave
gave
you
you
water
water.
because when Perrin set her free, she said something to him about my
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 water
water is
is your
yours.
water.
Okay, so what does that mean? That basically means like I owe you a debt, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay, okay,
Because
mm.
in the IEL, in the waste, water is very precious because it's basically a barren desert. It's a wasteland.
okay.
Okay. So
Water
other
is
than
important.
other than Rand and his parents, this is the first. This is the only other Aiel that we've
Mother,
met. Mother.
yeah.
I thought his father was a type of Aiel.
Who
Hmm.
Tam? No, is he?
No, no, no. His
No.
real father.
Oh, okay, but we
Yeah.
haven't met his real father.
No.
Yeah,
Okay. So those are the only IEL that we've met so far.
and the one that was
He,
strung up in
yeah.
what the
Season
Right,
one.
right,
last
right.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Because that Tom Maryland was the one that said, "Oh, when you see their veil, when they have if you see a veil out, then that's when you need to worry."
Right, right. So they defeat the white cloaks and then they leave. And during this whole conversation, or when Perrin was talking to the innkeeper, when the innkeeper was showing him his room, and he was telling about the old innkeeper following her granddaughter, Perrin was like, "Do you know where they're going?" And I think he told Perrin that they were going to Falme. Perrin's like, "Falme, okay." So when he and Avienda are kind of recouping from the fight, trying to figure out what they're going to do next, he basically tells her that's where we're going to go, because he was like, "You don't have to come with me." And she was like, "Yeah, you saved my life. My water is your water." And
Right.
he's looking at her like, she was like, "No, I don't mean sex." She was like, "But I wouldn't be opposed to it." I was like, "Oh my goodness,
Say hey.
that's too funny." Paris is sitting there like,
Dot,
and she
dot,
starts
dot, dot.
laughing at him because of his reaction. Because Parrot is probably sitting there like, "I ain't had none since my wife died. I don't know how to do this. I don't remember how to flirt." But so yeah, apparently they're going to farm because this is where Perrin knows the Shinerans have been taken, and he's gonna go. Speaking of that, that was something I wanted to mention when we talked about the beginning of the episode. So the fact that they have Ingtar and Loyal coming up behind Ishmael and Lady Suroth, and they got on these nice. I was like, y'all quite look like prisoners here. Y'all actually could look kind of nice. I was like, what do they have in store
They
for
kind of they
us?
kind of look like fancy servants to me.
Yeah, yeah. They
Yeah, yeah. I
they
guess
treat
they
their
could. Yeah.
slaves well. They do. They treat them well.
Mm. That's a
Mhm.
But
loaded
they're just showing
statement,
them
but
off.
anyway,
It is.
especially consider, okay,
Yeah.
because this is something that I do remember about us discussing season two. I know I'm gonna have a lot to say in the next couple of episodes about the fact that you got all these brown people now in positions of slavery, especially because we see
Hmm.
them collar Egwene at the end of this episode. Like, y'all make me
Yeah,
see that light too.
I had a little bit of a visceral reaction to that. Like I was just like,
Yeah.
that was harsh. I was like, mother. I was like, uh-uh. No,
It
man.
kind of felt the way it did when they put Missandei back in chains on Game of Thrones. I was like, oh yeah, okay. We're gonna be on our soapbox for the next couple of episodes, probably.
Oh man, that one got me. I was like, motherfucker. Like you can't do her like that. Like
Yeah. But on the flip side, yes, Egwene has been collared and she's now gonna be made a Damani. Um, but on the flip side, Elayne and Nynaeve have snuck into Falme. They get knocked out, and when they wake up, they're in the house of a yellow Aja and her water. And the yellow Aja is basically like, y'all don't know how to sneak around. Y'all don't know how to be quiet. Like my water found y'all, and they got people looking for y'all. Y'all would have been. I was just like, yeah.
her water found and knocked them the fuck out. I was like,
But
what
let's
the
talk
fuck?
about why he found them and knocked them the fuck out. Okay. Let's talk about Nynaeve and
Mm-hmm.
her not wanting to listen to somebody ass when somebody is trying to tell her, look, you're bringing too much attention to us.
Right.
Don't make any sudden moves. Don't talk too loud. Stop doing this. Stop trying to sneak. Bitch, you don't even know where you are. I understand your friend has been captured. You don't even know where she is right now. You don't even know how you got all the way across the on the other side of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you being hard headed and being like, I'm not doing anything you tell me to do. I'm not about to follow what you saying, princess. Now your ass done got knocked out. And I was just, Anthony, please tell me it's gonna get better with her because right now I'm about to throttle her.
Um, maybe it'll change. Who knows?
I hope so because
That doesn't sound all that positive, Anthony. I don't know.
It, like I said, she's gonna do some amazing things.
she need to hurry up and do that shit because right now you are a liability. You couldn't channel to get you and your friends out. Now one of your friends has been collared and is being made a slave while you're sitting here getting you and your and the other person captured because you don't want to follow nobody's advice. Like I'm ready to beat her up. I really am. Like, dude, you don't know nothing about this town. You don't know nothing about where you are. And granted, yes, I understand you don't know who Elayne is really. You don't want to be there with her. But she is the level-headed one of the group right now because yes, even though Egwene is her friend, she's not as emotionally attached to Egwene as you are. You are going off pure emotion right now. You are panicking, you are scared, and you are, I don't know, maybe even just a little bit angry that your friend is not there. But you are also not thinking clearly, and you very definitely are not acting rationally.
To be fair,
Sometimes
she's gone through a lot though, like in the last
no,
little bit.
hold up, because you're not gonna sit here and give that excuse for her and then be like, I can't stand Rand, that motherfucker, I hate him, blah blah blah. You cannot do that. You can't give leeway for one and not
Yeah,
give
I can.
leeway for the other.
Yeah, I can. I'm grown. Okay, fine. I'll give Rand about 1.25 inches of leeway. Especially I'll even bump it up to 1.5 because of him going against Frida Kruger over there and
That's more.
trying to get out of that.
That's more
So
inches than he gave Egwene.
You know what? I hate y'all so much. I hate y'all so much. How would you know? How would you know?
oh my god.
He gave her something. Look, he been dead for 6 months as far as she knows. She ain't even tried to move on. So let's not even go there. Let's
That was
not even.
awesome.
Yeah, he gave Lanfear plenty more.
You know what?
Okay,
I
but
can't stand y'all.
I just, I mean, I'm trying to, but this is, I was mad that they didn't do a better job of sticking together. I know it's to help with the story. They had to one of them had to get captured. I understand that. I understand like that they had to have a reason to go back and do whatever they needed to do. Fine, but it just made me mad that they kept running and didn't look and make sure that everybody was together and that Egwene had fallen behind. Like
Well, I mean,
it,
they were
That's
that,
panicking.
that's why Nynaeve is so upset with herself. That's
Yeah,
why she's so angry
yeah,
because she didn't look back to see if Egwene was safe.
yeah.
Because her
That
whole purpose was to protect them, and she failed again. Again, she failed,
yeah.
yes, she
and
did.
it was. And I don't want to use the word selfish, but she was concerned for herself at the moment, trying to get
I mean,
away.
I
She,
don't even want to say, I
but
don't
that
even want
said,
to go that far.
fight. Yeah, the fight or flight.
Yeah, I think
She
she was
just
just
ran.
panicking. They were
Yeah,
all panicking.
yeah.
So, and
I'll
she
give her that. But she
probably,
didn't look back.
yeah, she probably was panicking even more because of the fact that she couldn't channel.
Mm-hmm.
She was probably just like, okay, I can't defend us if something happens. So we need to run. And they were all keeping up at first because I think Egwene was kind of like in there. But I think also too, they had to do it with Egwene because one, as we said, Nynaeve, she can't channel right now. And so if she had been the one captured, when they brought Egwene in front of the High Lord, they were like, yeah, she's a very powerful channeler, like we saw it. That made more sense because if they had brought Nynaeve at that point probably would have been more scared than mad. If we're going by the way Anthony described it earlier, she would have been more scared. So they would have been like, yeah, we can tell she can channel, but she didn't do anything. That probably would not really help her situation. They'd probably be like, well, she can't channel, just kill her. We don't need her. They
No, no,
looking
Right.
no.
for her.
Remember, they have people that can see that she is a channeler, and as
But if
soon as
she
they
but if she can't channel,
no, no, as soon as they put the collar on her, she'd channel. She
well,
would
of
have no
course, but
choice.
but of course, before they put the collar on Egwene, I didn't know what they were gonna do with her,
Yeah.
how that was gonna go. So I'm just saying, alternatively, if they had done that with Nynaeve without knowing that they were gonna collar her, it's just like, okay, she couldn't even channel to save herself. So what do we need her for? It would, it could have gone like that. Elayne, it wouldn't have made sense for them to take her, at least for the story, because again, Nynaeve doesn't really know Elayne. I mean, she probably would have been like, yeah, we need to go back and save her. But as long as Egwene was fine, she probably would have been like, nah, let's get the fuck out of here. Whatever. It could have gone that way. I'm not saying that it would. I'm not saying that Nynaeve would purposefully leave somebody behind, especially somebody
Mm,
who, well, I don't think she would do that with Elayne simply because Elayne was there for Egwene in a way that Nynaeve wasn't. And I
Mm-hmm.
think
yeah.
as jealous as Nynaeve is about that fact, I think she also appreciates that because she knows that, especially with everything she went through in the Archers, she's not being the friend to Egwene that she should be. So,
Yeah.
but either
And,
way it
there's
goes,
reasons why these people end up. A writer puts these people where he really wants them to
Right.
be for
mm-hmm.
reasons,
Yeah,
and this is something probably not Neve needs, not
yeah,
Neve, Egwene needs.
because well, yeah,
Because one, they keep they keep talking about how powerful her and Nynaeve are, but other than Nynaeve, we don't really see Egwene's power.
not too much except for that when she was
Hmm.
trying to get her out of the arches.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is probably where we're gonna see Egwene hopefully break through of what they have her in now, because like I said, they got a collar on her, so she's basically their slave. They're probably going to try to make her do some stuff that she can't do. And we don't know whether or not that's something that, because she has the collar, they're automatically going to be able to make her channel, or if that's something that she's going to have to fight. We don't know how that works yet. So, I mean, what did Lady Suroth say? She said their Damani trained for years in order to show that they deserve to use the power, that they were worthy enough to use the power. I really
That's
hope.
deceptive as fuck.
Oh,
That
believe
is
me, I know.
deceptive
I
as
know. That's what I
like,
was
oh,
gonna.
they
Yeah.
trained for years, really trained for years, like threatening to have their tongues ripped out. I'm sorry, all the things that you do to a slave to make them do what you want them to do
Mhm.
is not really training.
Yeah. Yeah.
To
And
prove their
we don't even
worth,
know yet what they do to the Damani. So
to
yeah.
prove their worth, really.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I know that's
I'm
probably
getting my
what we're gonna.
soapbox. I'm
I
painting my
know.
soapbox. I'm getting ready.
I told you probably the next what, one maybe two episodes.
Right. Paint that bad boy red, black, and green.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we gonna be on it. So yeah, but like you said, maybe this will give Egwene the push that she needs so that she can say, okay, let me go ahead and be as powerful as I can be, so nobody will ever be able to do this shit to me again. And maybe that's what Nynaeve needs too. Maybe
Yeah, I think she needs it.
she needs to see something like that for it to be. She needs to be in her Incredible Hulk era where she's like, the secret is I'm angry all the time. That's where Nynaeve needs to get. She needs to get to the point, if her channeling only comes in instances where she is angry, then she needs to get to that point where it's always there simmering on the surface, but she can control it. She needs to become her Bruce Banner.
She already seems like she's mad all the time anyway.
But not mad enough
Not
to
mad
do what she
enough.
needs to do.
Yeah.
Because if that
Facts.
was the case, Egwene would not be where she is right now.
True that.
But
True.
that's okay, because let Egwene get mad, let Nynaeve get mad, and then you got all these other people on their way to Falme. You have Mat on his way to Falme, which again, we haven't seen Mat do anything, but that also tells me that Mat is probably going to do something big when it gets to Falme. He's coming to Falme. Perrin is coming to Falme. The Shinarans are in Falme. Loyal is in Falme. It's only a matter of time before Rand and Moraine make their way there as well. Okay, that just means that the Seanchan have a huge ass whooping coming up by episode 8, and I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
And
Because you've only been on the screen for a few minutes in the last 2 episodes, and I want y'all dead now. Mm-hmm. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So anyway, do we have anything else?
I do
Okay.
before Mike does his shout outs.
Mm-hmm.
So we get a little bit of a peek into Lanfear's motivations because um, when Moraine is trying to convince Rand to go to sleep, she's like, you know what? I don't think Lanfear is going to kill you because she wants something from you. And she tells him the story that, in the Age of Legends, that's what it's called, that Lanfear was in love with Lews Therin.
mm-hmm.
She was in love with him, and he left her and married his wife. And she swore the 3 oaths, or the oaths, to the Dark One so she could get him back. So her motivation for being a dark friend and swearing to the Dark One is really about getting back the love of her life. So I think this kind of leaves open that she not necessarily is a bad person, not necessarily evil. She really just wants her lover back. She wants the love of her life back.
Now we all know that whenever someone seeks power as a way of getting back their lost love, that never goes well.
It
At
doesn't.
all.
I didn't say
At
it
all.
was going to go well. I'm just saying it's
That's
not
what's gonna
like
happen.
she wants to torture people. It's not like she wants to bathe in the blood of the innocent people so she could stay young forever.
But
No,
she's
she
also
she
unnecessarily
literally
cruel.
she
So it
is. But that's
so
because what does immortality do to people?
yeah,
you
it,
know,
it strips away their
it's
humanity.
just for
Yeah.
humanity. But at her core, though, for her, it's all about love.
Yeah.
It truly is.
Okay. While we're on that subject and while you brought Luz up, here's another question I have. Because I think Ishmael has said at one point that the blood of Lews Therin runs in his veins, like he is him. But hasn't it also, like, when Rand went to the Eye of the World, didn't he also have visions of himself as Lews Therin? So my question is, can that person be reborn in two separate people?
I don't think that's what Ishmael meant.
Okay. Okay. I'm looking at the look on your face, and that's probably spoilery, so I'm not going to dig into that deeper. I was just wondering because I've heard them both say that, both
and
reference
and
him.
and also remember, Ishmael is also the father of lies.
Ah, yes. Okay. Okay. All right.
Mm.
I'll let that alone. Mike, what shout out you got?
Shout out to Valda looking like fresh kid ice from Two Live Crew. Um, that made me so happy. I was
That
like,
was
he
not
still
his
fucked up. He like Perrin fucked his shit up. I was like, cool, that works.
Oh, you saw him get scared when that dog was coming out the end, and
Hell
old boy was
yeah.
like, "Don't worry, there are no wolves here."
He got canine PTSD.
That means everybody knows about the wolves. All the children of the light
And
know about the
but I
wolves.
mean, they were all surrounded by the wolves when he got attacked. Like, I don't understand. Egwene stabbed him in the neck, and then the wolves came after him. Why is this motherfucker not dead? Is he a dark friend too? Like, does he have unusual powers at his side to help him? No, because he's too much about the light, the light, the light. I'm a child of the light, blah, blah, blah. But still, why is this motherfucker not dead? That was my question. Because when I heard his voice, like his voice is like fingernails going down a chalkboard. I was just like, oh,
I was
this
like,
nigga
yeah.
ain't dead. That's
So I
literally
guess he's gonna have to eat his baby birds with his left hand now.
gross.
I have a question. So, shout out to um Dane from the Children of the Light,
Mhm.
reminding me of Nikolai from Shadow and Bone a
Shadow
little
and
bit.
Bone.
I was like, huh. I mean, because
Okay.
I mean, a little bit, like in looks and kind of in actions, but I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I just it kind of reminded me of him. I'm like, I don't think there's a chance that he's like that. Nah, it seems
He
like he
doesn't
might be a
seem like
character.
he's bad, like Child
Yeah,
Balder. Like he actually
like he
seems
doesn't
to
like seem like
have,
Balda. Yeah, he doesn't seem
yeah,
like Balda level, like really like a bad son of a bitch.
yeah. No, he like he seems to have a little more compassion, a little more empathy,
Hmm.
um, because he wasn't nasty or anything to Avienda. He gave her water, even though she had hurt some of his soldiers, and he was warning Perrin to stay away from her. So it's not like he was just like being an
Yeah,
ass. I mean, she did whatever she did to be captured, and he was just trying to make sure that she was a prisoner. She was gonna, I guess, pay for whatever it was she did, but he wasn't overly um cruel to her like a lot of these people we see. Like Child Valda is just like, he is, I would say he's probably worse than the Forsaken at this point, because at least the Forsaken, we know there's a reason for them to be evil. Like, they serve an evil master. Child Valda is supposed to be a child of the light, but you this evil. He's like the Dolores Umbridge of this show. Like, you just evil for no reason.
right.
So yeah, the Dane wasn't all that bad. And then of course Child Valda doesn't like him because I guess Dane comes from royalty, or his dad is somebody important.
We saw his father season 1.
First season, yes, you're
Yeah,
right.
that was his father.
Okay, so now I do have to go back and watch.
One of the captain. He's the captain of
Yes,
the Children of the Light. Yeah.
you're right.
When they when they stopped them?
Moraine, yeah, when they
The
stopped
first
Moraine.
time, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
really?
Yep.
Hmm.
Huh. Yeah, that puts a whole different spin on everything now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah, that's
okay.
why he called him. He basically called him a nepo baby.
Yes, he did.
I
He
mean,
did.
yeah,
And said it with such disdain too. Like,
I
whatever.
mean, he kind of is. It's like,
But I always
that,
thought Valda, because the goal of the Children of the Light isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's actually a very honorable thing that they want to do. It's just that he shows that just like any other organization, there are bad people in it. This even in their goal to accomplish what they want to, he has taken it to such an extreme where he's willing to slaughter Aes Sedai.
Right.
Yeah,
And
as
collect their
and
rings
collect their
and
rings.
trophies. It's just yeah.
Right. Versus someone who might just, like Barnhole's father, who would just give them a wide berth and not go anywhere near, the
Yeah.
White Tower. Just kind of stay away from the Aes Sedai, as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to hunting them down.
Right. Right.
yeah,
He's very much a you mind your business, I'm a mind mine.
Right.
Yeah. Mm, okay.
yeah. Shout out to uh, what's her name? Halle Sroth in her room pouting was the funniest shit I'd ever seen. It was just funny as fuck to me. I understand, like she kind of got High Lady Sroth
Oh, okay.
like in her room pouting. I was like, just get your shit together. Hurry up. Yeah, you got shit to do.
Yeah, something
Um,
tells me she's not going to be at the bottom of the totem pole for long because if
uh,
she's already talking about overthrowing the High Lord and taking over, I'm like, yeah, I smell a mutiny coming on very
yeah, of
soon.
course, they're gonna try to take over the brother. Where's Doctor Umar when you need him? Damn it!
Well,
I'm just saying.
the way the blood works in Seanchan, if you have the royal blood, they're related.
Mm,
So he just
okay.
happens to be closer. It's
Yeah.
hard to explain, but I don't want to say the more blood that you have, the higher up you are.
Hmm.
So like
I got you.
the closer you are to, it's the same.
The
The more
higher the
royal,
percentage on your ancestry DNA test.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, but still, I don't see that. I don't see him being in charge very long, especially not if she has Ishmael there with her.
Yeah,
I don't see it. Yeah,
Hey, Anthony, what is the yellow Aes Sedai's like specialty?
they're
those are the
healers.
healers.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
Those are the healers because those are the
Okay.
ones that they took
Matt
Perrin
too.
and Egwene to
Oh yeah.
after they escaped from Child Valda.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. I couldn't remember what her purpose was, and I was like, because I thought they were, I mean, because they're outside of the city, outside of the tower. So I'm just like, oh,
I mean, there are a
like
lot
this
of
could,
Aes Sedai out wandering around
Yeah.
from the different Ajas, but most of
That
the
that,
yellow because they heal. They go around healing people.
yeah, because I was thinking maybe this is what Nanine's going to become. Like she could,
mm,
I mean, she didn't have that would take her out of the tower where she ain't got to be around all them fake motherfuckers, and she could do what
true.
she really wants to do is heal people. Like that was
But
one of the
but
big things
but
for her.
again, most of the Ajas, most of the Ajas send
They
Aes
can
Sedai out.
heal, just not to that extent.
Not to that extent, but
Yeah.
they do all go out, all kind of go out. Like there's some that stay in the tower, but there are Aes Sedai all around.
Mm. Okay.
That's how Vald was able to get his hand on what
On
13
so
of
many,
them,
yeah.
14
Mm-hmm.
of them from
Mm-hmm.
different Ajas.
Yep. Yep.
Hmm.
All right.
Okay,
But that's a good theory there, sir. Good theory. Yeah.
full of them, just like I'm full of everything else.
Y'all have any final thoughts on this episode?
I'm glad that these episodes are going past. quickly now. Like they're not like the
Yeah.
first one that drag
Mm-hmm.
on and on. Like either like the action's getting better or the way that they're like editing it is better, where everything flows better, where there's not like a big gap where you're like sitting, then
Mm-hmm.
action, then something happens, then you're sitting again, then
Yeah, it's a
something
lot going
happens.
on now. But I mean, like we said, it now we're this is episode 5. There are only 3 episodes left in this season. They have to start moving it along a little bit more
Right.
because other than that, you just don't want the whole season to drag. So yeah, the episodes are definitely picking up. There's definitely a lot more happening. And then also, I think because we are getting closer to all of the people being in the same area again, I think that's also kind of making the story better because like I said, when they're all separated and they're all doing their own thing, to me, that's when the story seems to fall flat a little bit because the whole the whole story started with all of them together. And I think that's when the story is better when you have all of them together. So
I will say this, even though the first season, he said how the showrunner said like 85% of it was completely made up.
mhm,
Um, it's getting much better for me, but only because a lot of the events that have happened, especially in this episode, were things like right out of the book.
mhm.
There are even some lines of dialogue that are lifted right out of the book.
Okay,
So I
good.
think this season was is it seems like they're pushing more towards things that are in the book
Okay.
as opposed to last season where you're like, where's all this coming from?
Mhm. Okay.
Right.
So it seems like maybe there was a change, or maybe this was their plan all along, was to kind of bring everything back in line to
Yeah.
the books.
Yeah.
So
Okay. All right. Well, 3 more episodes for season 2, and then we will go right on into season 3, which actually premiered today. I have not seen the first, I think the first 3 episodes
is
are
it today? Oh, it is today. I thought it was tomorrow.
nope, came out at 3 a.m. this morning. So yeah,
I
but
didn't
Damn.
even see it.
yeah, but we're gonna wait. Well, at least I'm gonna wait, I
Mm,
think, because Mike has still not seen all of season 2. And like I said, I have pretty much forgotten most of season 2. So I'm watching the episodes as we get ready to record them. So maybe in a few days I'll be ready to start on season 3. But like I said, we got 3 episodes for season 2, and then we're gonna go right into the season 3 discussion and keep it going. So that's that. But for now, that is it for our show. You can find us online at www.fandomhybrid.com. We are on social media, on all the social media at Fandom Hybrid. You can chat with us on our Discord channel. You can watch our videos on our YouTube channel, and you can listen to us on all major podcast streaming platforms. Thanks for listening. We hope you join the conversation next time.